I'm the independent counsel, and I'm serving you with this subpoena.
Can I finish the song first?
No.
Hello everyone. This video is part 5 of the series I'm calling Slow History. It is a view over the Peasants Revolt of 1381. So, why was there a Peasants Revolt? It is an important question. But a better question is, what have we been hearing? What do we think we know from our shared and experience-based pathways? And how does that contrast or join up with what the proper academic scholarship actually says? Claude Michaud refers to peasant mobility in the 14th century in Central Europe. The population of Europe was expanding, and thereby the towns and cities of Europe, from Prague to Paris, from Naples to Norwich. To start with, Peter Brown has the following. The term, the Peasants' Revolt, is misleading. If taken to mean an undifferentiated mass of impoverished agricultural workers. The largest group in the revolt paid rent for the land they worked, but some were very substantial peasants and the leaders of village communities. Others were servants, and a significant minority were craftsmen, artisans and traders of the sort found in village society. That is, weavers, carpenters, cobblers, pedlars, tailors, fullers, glovers, tilers, dyers, millers, innkeepers, hosiers, skinners, bakers, butchers, spinsters, cooks. Most were self-employed, and some were relatively wealthy, and while the revolt was one of those who work, there were occasional alliances with those who did not. Members of the gentry, who either sympathised with the rebels or who had local scores to settle, and poor priests, some of whom, like John Raw in Suffolk, took leading roles. The rebels also attracted considerable support from urban centres. Although local conditions, levels of mutual trust and motivations varied, the riots in such places as Maidstone, Canterbury, St Albans, Cambridge, and above all London, were the result of rebels and townsmen making common cause. Maurice Keane says the spark that ignited the Peasants' Revolt was the effort to collect the poll tax of 1380. A typical cliché is surely in the telling of oppressed peasants in a social order in which they, and that is a majority of the people, found themselves at a disadvantage and out of pocket thereby. And yet there had been previous poll taxes that had been collected without much documented kerfuffle. And was there a particular reason for that? Well, yes, perhaps. Perhaps it was because they were progressive poll taxes, and this new poll was pitched at a higher rate at the lower end. But also, and crucially, the Statute of Labourers of 1351 had attempted to give lords a preferential hold over their men's labour. At the ideological level, the rebels were demanding freedom. They demanded, literally, the freedom to negotiate their own wages and terms of contract that had legally been denied them since the 1351 statute. Little wonder the Inns of Court in London were attacked, amongst others, when the rebels were rebelling in June 1381. But moreover, the fact remains that after 1381 Parliament never passed another poll tax. And for why? Was it nerves or fear, as some have said? Fear of what, though? Earlier in France, the Jacquerie had been crushed with an absolute ruthlessness, where thousands had been killed. In England, overall, about 100 were executed. In France, a juridical, privileged, noble class became entrenched. But this was not the case in England. Keane again. Quote, the opportunities for social mobility, both vertically and in lateral geographic terms, were allowed a remarkable free play. And that in turn was why English society emerged from the medieval period less rigidly stratified than was the case with most of her continental neighbours, with numerous gradations, but without sharp juridical barriers between them. Well, that's my view of the Peasants' Revolt of 1381. And bye for now.